Look at this, it's Stella. She's in the cat condo. She never goes in this cat condo. This is a first for her.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 9:15 a.m. and here's Splash. He's under the bed. I wanted to film an update about him. The door to this room is shut, so he's the only cat in here. I want him to relax. He's been having issues this morning. So what I've been noticing is that he's been using the litter box a lot more than he usually does. So I started keeping track of how often he's using the litter box. And he was going to the litter box about every 5 minutes this morning. So once I noticed that, then I tried to isolate him with the litter box so I could see what he was doing. Now, I didn't know if he was constipated or if he was having problems urinating, so the first thing that I did was I gave him a little squeeze up with some salmon oil on it, like some fish oil, because if he was constipated, I figured that can help move things along. The next thing that I did, I gave him a squeeze up with a little bit of CBD oil in it. The reason why I did that is because when Boo had the same exact symptoms, when Boo was going to the litter box every 5 minutes, it was due to stress because I took him to the vet at the time. The vet could not find anything, and so it was stress related. And Splash is dealing with a good deal of stress because all of the cats have been all together for the past several days. And we know Splash is very sensitive and he's one of the shy cats, so the stress would be affecting him more than the other cats. The other cats seem to be fine with everything right now, but Splash is a little bit stressed out. So that's why I gave him the CBD oil. So after he had that, he continued to use the litter box maybe every 10 minutes or so. I definitely felt like the frequency of him using it decreased a little bit. Then he took a poop, which was good, so we know he's not constipated. And then I was thinking I would put some apple cider vinegar in his food today, his breakfast, because apple cider vinegar is good for cats if they're having urinary issues. If they're having like a urinary infection, they say to put some apple cider vinegar in their food. But I didn't have any apple cider vinegar, so I had to run to Whole Foods, and I picked some up. And I just got back. I also bought him some food that has more liquid in it. I normally mix extra water into their food, but I bought some packets of Wellness in gravy, hoping maybe he'll like that more. But for breakfast today, they're having homemade raw food, and I'll mix plenty of water in with that, and I'll put some apple cider vinegar in. He'll continue to stay isolated in this room so I can monitor his litter box habits. I have a camera pointed at the litter box. I moved it to specifically point at the litter box so I can review the footage and see what's going on. And yeah, so that's what's going on with Splash this morning. I should also mention that otherwise he's acting completely normal. He's jumping on top of the cat tower. He is, quite active. He's hiding right now because I have the camera out and he's quite shy when I want to do this. But other than that, he's been acting normal. If I leave the room, he comes out from under the bed. When I come in the room, he'll look at me. But what happened was when I tried to point the camera at him, that's when he hid under the bed. So it's 9:30 a.m. and this is what Splash is getting for breakfast. He's getting homemade raw food, and I mixed in 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and I put a squeeze up on top, and let's hope he eats this. I was just walking past the door to the room with the kittens, and I was like, it looks like all the kittens are in the room. So I went in, shut the door, counted them. Sure enough, all 7 are in the room. So I guess they put themselves in the room expecting breakfast. I just shut the door. I'm going to feed the other cats downstairs. Then I'll come up and I'll give these guys breakfast in their room. It is 9:38 a.m. I'm here with 2 platters of food for the cats. They're having homemade raw food with warm water mixed in and some crunchies. Who wants to eat? You guys hungry? All 7 of them are out and about. Oh, Goldie almost rubbed up against me. Is Ringo? Nope, Ringo went underneath. There's little Eva. There's Richard, Nancy. Sammy's up on the table. You guys hungry? You hungry? Oh, Richard just rubbed on me. Goldie almost stepped on my toe. You guys ready to eat? Sammy's like on her hind legs. You guys ready to eat? Be nice, Sammy. Hey, Richard. Hey, Ringo. Okay, you want food? Who wants food? Goldie, rub on me. Who's gonna rub on me? Goldie, you gonna rub on me? Rub on me, Goldie. Go ahead, Ziggy. The goal is to get them to at least come closer to me and not be afraid. Okay, ready? You hungry? He's hungry. Okay. Alright. Oh, I got Goldie. I got Goldie. Okay. Let's eat, Goldie. Let's eat. Let's eat, Ziggy. Okay. There's a little Eva. Come on, Goldie. I got Goldie again. I gotta like lean into her, but she lets me. She lets me rub up against her. Be nice, everybody. We're going to eat. All right, I just gave them their plates. We have 4 on one platter, 3 on this platter. If they eat all that food, then I could give them like a can. So this is Splashy's food. He did not eat it. Maybe he wants crunchies on it? I just put some crunchies on his food, so maybe he'll go eat it. I want to keep him here under observation so I could know what he's doing in the litter box. That's why I have the door shut. So right now, all the cats are shut somewhere. Splash is shut in this room. Boo, Stella, and Simba are shut downstairs, and the kittens are shut in their room. It's actually nice. It's 10 a.m. I'm checking on Splash. It looks like he has not eaten his food, so I'm going to try with some canned food. The problem with trying to put something like apple cider vinegar in raw food is that the raw food, it doesn't have a strong odor or flavor, so the apple cider vinegar probably really overpowers it. So I'm going to try it in some of the canned food. Here's Splash right now. He's on top of the cat tower. I just gave Splash some of this wellness gravies with bits of tuna and mackerel smothered in gravy. I figured maybe the tuna and mackerel will have a really strong smell. I did not give him a full teaspoon. I probably give him like half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and I topped it with like half of a squeeze up. So I'm going to give him a chance to eat that. It's 10 o'clock now. I'll probably check back in another 15 minutes. So I was able to get Splash to eat a chicken churro with 3 drops of the apple cider vinegar in it, and he's laying on the bed right now. So I'm going to give him another chicken churro. He did not want to eat the tuna and salmon squeeze up. I think he just really likes the chicken, so I'm going to give him another one. And what I did was I put some apple cider vinegar in this little dropper bottle. That way I could really control the dose much better. I forgot to mention that I also put some sardine dust on top. So these are some dried sardines that I crushed up on top, and maybe it helped mask the aroma of the apple cider vinegar. So Splash just finished the second churro. I'm going to give him a third one. Maybe it helps with some of the dried sardines on top. Maybe he just likes the churro better than the squeeze-ups. I don't know. Here's Splash. He's on the bed. Splash, you want another churro? Here, I'll put it right next to you, okay? You want to eat that? Eat the churro, Splashy. You could eat it. I'll be back in 15 minutes, okay? It's 12:30 p.m. and there's Boo. He is so happy. He is sunbathing by the windows in his room. Boo, you're so happy. Look at him. Good boy, Boo. You're a good boy. You're a good man, Boo, okay? You got your room back part of the day. Good man, Boo. I think there might be some kittens under the day sofa. Richard's walking around. Good job, Boo. You're a good boy. It's 1:30 p.m. Look at what's going on here. That's Simba. Simba's in Boo's room on the floor. Oh, I guess someone's under the day sofa. Someone just hissed at him. He's getting up. He's like, okay, I don't need that. There's Splash. He's in the penthouse. How you doing, Splashy? You okay? I guess he's not using the litter box as much because he's just hanging out in the penthouse. So here's Boo by the windows. And there's Simba in the cat tower. Just like old times, right, Simba? You smelling the other cats. Here's Ringo. He's underneath the day sofa. How you doing, Ringo? How you doing, Ringo? You're very handsome. Handsome boy. Ringo's the only one under here. I wonder where the other cats are. Boo is so warm. He must love soaking up the sun. Because when I touch him, like, he is so warm because his black fur just absorbs all the sunshine and the heat. How you doing, Simba? He's watching Boo. Meanwhile, downstairs, there are 4 cats in the cat beds. So there's a cat in each cat bed on the couch, and there's a cat in the round cat bed on the floor. And I don't know where the rest are. I don't want to disturb them. So it looks like Goldie, Ziggy, Nancy on the couch, and then little Eva on the floor. And we just saw Ringo underneath the day sofa. So it means Richard and Sammy are somewhere else. There's Richard. He's on the sofa cushion. I don't know where Sammy is. Here's Stella. She's on one of the dining room chairs. She was helping me work for a while. I'm just taking a 5-minute break to check on the cats. It's 2:15 p.m. and look at Stella. She's in her castle. This is Stella's castle. Her bow is hanging on top of it. It's on top of this piece of litter box furniture. She looks very happy in her castle. She's laying on her pillow. It's 3 p.m. and Boo moved over to the day sofa. And Simba's back on top of the cat tower. He came down for a while, but he's back up there. Ringo's still underneath the day sofa. Hey Splashy, it's 5:45 p.m. I just came in to check on Splash. He was on top of the cat tower when I came in. And I saw that he had used the litter box because there was a pile of litter and I just scooped it and look at this. Look! This is it's a decent sized pea clump. I mean, it's still smaller than like what the cats would normally do, but it's a lot bigger than the little, peanut-sized clumps that I was scooping this morning. So this is good progress for Splashy. Yay, it looks like the apple cider vinegar worked. So for dinner today, the dinner locations have pretty much been reversed. So there are 6 of the kittens eating downstairs because this is where they've been all day. The only one not down here is Ringo. He was under the day sofa all day, so I gave him a plate of food in the room. Here's Goldie. Eat your food, Goldie. So they're all eating except for Richard, and here's Richard. I think he's just too comfortable in this bed. He doesn't want to get out. Either that or he's gonna wait till everyone else eats and then he'll eat what's left over. He says ladies first. All the girls are eating except for Goldie. What are you doing, Goldie? Don't you want to eat? So yesterday, Sammy literally pulled this toy out. It was in a pile of stuff in the back room, and I had completely forgotten it was there. And then all of a sudden I heard this bang, and I was like, what is that? And I came down here, and Sammy had pulled this toy out. Like, she literally pulled it out from wherever it was. I don't even know where it was, but I was like, oh, okay, you found it. Now, it did not have the centerpiece in it, which is a cardboard scratcher. That's what Goldie's laying on right now, because the previous cardboard scratcher had been completely used. So I had bought replacements, but I had not put the replacements in because there wasn't any room for this toy upstairs. Boo has the other one that has like mirrors on it. It's a shinier one. He likes that one better. And I think I might have had this in Ditto's room for a while, but then it was just taking up too much space. So that's why I had it down here and just kind of thrown to the side, because I was like, okay, I'll use that in the future. Well, Sammy decided she wants to play with it because of the ball, the white ball. So when they decided to play with it, they were just like laying in it, and it was like empty in the middle, but there are these like sharp pieces that stick up. So I said, let me find that cardboard, which I was able to locate, and I put it in there, and now they love laying on this. So Splash is eating in my room. He went into the room, I shut the door, and he's eating in there. I don't know if he's eating. I gave him food. Also, he's back to sitting in the litter box. So I've seen him sit in the litter box twice since he woke up. So he spent the majority of the day sleeping on top of the armoire, which is good because he was not in and out of the litter box. But now that he's up and walking around, he's been back in and out of the litter box. So I put more of the apple cider vinegar in his food. Hopefully he'll eat his food. If he doesn't eat his food, I'm just going to continue to feed him churros and crunchies with the apple cider vinegar and see how that does. So we know he does not have a blockage. So that is good, because that is always a prime concern when dealing with male cats. They are prone to blockages in their urinary tract. And if a cat has a blockage in their urinary tract, it is very, very serious. They need to go to a vet or animal hospital right away. So at least we know for Splash, he doesn't have a blockage. So it's either a stress thing, making him feel like he wants to sit in the litter box and pee, or it could be a form of urinary tract infection, which is why he's getting the apple cider vinegar. And I also am not going to give him any crunchies. They say you want to make sure the cat's eating wet food. So other than just a few crunchies on top of his food, like I'm not going to give him a whole snack of crunchies tonight. They're just going to get wet food. It is 9 a.m. and Splash slept through the night in the living room. And then this morning he's having litter box issues again. He's still peeing. You know, I'm scooping out little peanut-sized clumps of cat litter. Yeah, he's still having his issues. So I'm going to try to put as many supplements in his food as I can get him to eat this morning. I've already put fresh water in all the water bowls, scooped all the litter boxes, and vacuumed all the rugs. Let me show you what's going on here. So there was a white ball in this track yesterday, and this morning there's no white ball. So I don't know who got it out. I don't know where it is, but I just wanted to point that out. So hopefully it's somewhere down here. I don't know if anyone could have taken it upstairs. And it was kind of like a hard plastic ball, so I would think I would hear it. So I'm going to have to look for that. Also, I put the toy on for them to play with. So 6 of the kittens are down here. I don't know where Ringo is. I looked under the day sofa. He's not under the day sofa. I looked down here. I don't know where he is. I've seen 6 of the kittens today down here. They pretty much spent the whole night down here. They love it down here. They've like taken over this whole downstairs area. I don't know where Ringo is though. So maybe he'll show up. So I just found Ringo. He's under the bed. I don't know. Maybe he was under the bed all night, but that's where he is now. It's 9:24 a.m. and I can't show them to you, but both Splash and Ringo are under the bed. They're not too far from each other. So Splash ate his food on the little tray that I have in the room with the water bowl. So he came out and he ate, but Ringo was still under the bed. So then Ringo was on top of the cat tower when I came in the room with his food. Then he ran underneath the bed and I gave him his food under the bed. So right now, it sounds like Ringo's eating his food under the bed and Splash is there with him. So it could be that Ringo and Splash might end up being friends because they're both the scaredy cats. So I just gave the cats 2 platters of food down here. You can see there's 3 cats on each platter. If they finish all of that, I'll give them maybe like a can of food. But that should be plenty of food for them. So maybe if they finish that, I won't give them anything extra. They're getting the homemade raw food with warm water mixed in. And then I put some crunchies in the middle. Because I know Nancy loves crunchies. I think some of the cats might like crunchies. So yeah, things have reversed in this house, and I had nothing to do with it. So it seems like these cats like being down here better than being upstairs. I have a lot of organizing that I'm going to need to do down here within the next few days if this is going to continue, because they're like getting into everything. So I got to figure a lot of stuff out. It's 9:54 a.m. Look at Splash. He's taking a bath on the bed, or he was. Ringo's trying to get past me to get out the door. And there's Boo. Boo's taking a bath on the day sofa. And that's either Goldie or Ziggy. It's 11 a.m. and here's Splash. He's on the bed. He seems to be doing better today than he was yesterday. He ate all of his breakfast, and he just came up to me while I was working on my computer and got so many pets. Like, he got so many pets. He hasn't done that in a long time. Probably since the kittens have been allowed in and out of their room. That's like the last time that Splash came up to me to get like lots and lots of pets. And he did that today, so maybe he is starting to relax more. I feel like Boo is grooming himself less also now. Maybe having the kittens confined to that one room was stressing the cats out a lot. Maybe now that the kittens are pretty much allowed to roam around wherever they want, the cats are relaxing more. Maybe as they all get to know each other, they're all relaxing more. Maybe as Splash and Boo are realizing the other kittens are not a threat, so they're relaxing more. I don't know, but I'm just making an observation. Look at this, it's Stella. She's in the cat condo. She never goes in this cat condo. This is a first for her. That is so cute. So I moved the cat condo here. It used to be by the window in between the cat towers, but I moved it here because, I don't know, I made like a little cat area with these ottomans. You can see the cats have been scratching on the ottomans. And then there's an arch here, and then I put a towel. They like to lay here. And look at this. Stella went inside this cat condo. The kittens have been going in and out of it. I guess Stella doesn't want to miss out. Maybe she's becoming a kitten again. It's 12:05 p.m. Here's Stella and Splash taking naps on the bed. I think Splash is faking. I don't think Splash is really sleeping. And I think this is Richard in the cat tower. Or is it Nancy? It might be Nancy. Do I see a white paw? Nancy. Nancy. Richard. Is it Richard or Nancy? Who's up there? I kind of think it's Nancy. But it might be Richard. Here's Sammy. Today she's on the cat tower. Hey, Sammy. And here's Ringo. Ringo's underneath the day sofa today. Hello, Ringo. And there's 3 cats in the cat beds. And I see Nancy in the round bed on the floor. So that must be Richard upstairs. It's 1:35 p.m. Here's Stella. She's still on the bed where she was. There's Splash. He's still in the middle of the bed. And there's Boo. He's on the end of the bed. And there's Richard. These cats are learning how to get down from these cat towers. They're not very good at doing it yet. I think he wanted to jump on the bed, but he sees Boo there. Sometimes what happens is when they try to go to the level below, they kind of do a flip. And then they kind of like fall off the whole cat tower. That's why they're still learning. I'm pretty sure Simba is up in the penthouse. I don't know what Richard thinks he's doing. Just stay there, Richard, okay? Just stay there. I don't want to move or go into the room because I don't want to scare him, and I don't want to, like, make him fly off of there and then scare the other cats. You're fine, Richard, okay? You're fine right there. Come on, stay away from each other. Boo, stay away from Nancy. I don't need any more problems. Hey!
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's about 8:30 a.m. Look at what's going on here. Ringo is in Boo's office, and there's Nancy next to him. Here's Splash. He's hanging out on this chair. He has not been in the litter box all morning. So yeah, there was like a shift yesterday. I would say yesterday around noon, he started acting normal again. So that's good. Hopefully those issues are behind him now. There's Simba. Simba's on the cat tower. Here's Stella. Stella's in Boo's room. It looks like she wants to jump up by the windows. Is she gonna jump? And there's Boo. He's smelling some air in the bedroom. He's on top of the cat tower. I opened this window and I opened the window in his room so the cats could smell some air. I'm assuming all the other ones are downstairs. It's 8:50 a.m. Look at Splash. I was just walking past the room and I saw this. Looks like he's pretty happy there. All the cats are really starting to get used to each other, which is good. We'll see what happens. There's been a few squabbles, but nothing major. So we have an issue here between Boo and Nancy because Nancy wants to be alpha, and it's not going to happen. And here's Boo, and here's Nancy. And Nancy's been howling a little bit. She looks like she wants to attack him, but Boo's being a gentleman right now. Nancy, you don't attack Boo, okay? Boo's twice Nancy's size, first of all. She's a little cat. And what do you got on you, Boo? So, I pet Boo. I say, you're a good boy, Boo. You're a good boy. Good man, Boo. You're a good man. And there's Nancy. And then I was petting Nancy for a little bit and say, Nancy, stay away from Boo. Give him plenty of space. Don't attack him, okay? And I should not be saying that. I should not be saying don't attack him because cats don't hear don't. They just hear attack him. So what I want to say is stay away from Boo. Stay away from him. Give him respect, okay? Give Boo plenty of respect. Give Boo respect because he's the leader, okay? Give him respect. Respect Boo because he's the leader. Right, Boo? Boo says he's the king. He's king in the house. All right, so Simba just got scared. Simba just got scared of Nancy. Now Nancy's tail is huge. And look at Boo. Come on over here. Come on, stay away from each other. Boo, stay away from Nancy. I don't need any more problems. Hey, stop that. No fighting. Be nice. I should not say no fighting. Cats don't hear no. I need to say behave. Be nice. You're okay, Simba. You're okay. We have to remember that Boo will beat up Nancy if he has to. He's not going to let her, like, be the ruler in this house. I doubt he will. I'll be shocked if he lets Nancy be the alpha. But I think that's what she's trying to do. Also, we have to remember that they have not eaten their breakfast yet. So I need to get ready for my day, then I'm going to give them breakfast. It's about 10:35 a.m. And I'm downstairs with 6 of the cats. Everyone except for Ringo is down here. Ringo is in the room. I think I'm going to call it that from now on. I'm just going to refer to it as the room. He's under the day sofa. I gave him a plate of food under there. He's just relaxing. Splash is in my bedroom. He's eating there with the door shut. And then Stella, Boo, and Simba are eating on the play rug in the living room. And I just brought 2 platters of food down. And going to give these guys their breakfast. I'm waiting for someone to rub up against me. Who's going to rub up against me? Are you going to give me pets? You're going to give me pets or you're going to rub up against me? So this is like a scratching post that has been attached to the edge of the stairs here. And I had to staple it all down. But the kittens absolutely love it. They actually climb it. So that's really good exercise. And so far the staples have been holding. But these are also pretty small cats. I see you, Nancy. I see you, Eva. Hey guys. There's Goldie. Oh, she's purring so loud. Richard just rubbed up against me. He went between my legs. So it's a lot easier to take care of all these cats when they're just like all free in the house together. When I don't have to worry about keeping them separated. I mean, this morning Nancy was trying to attack Boo and she was trying to attack Stella, and other than that, everything was good. As long as the cats give each other plenty of personal space, then everything is fine. It's when they want to, you know, get in each other's space, then there's an issue, or when someone's trying to attack someone. Sammy just rubbed up against me. Nancy just tackled little Eva. Nancy, be nice to the cats. So it really feels like Nancy has taken over as alpha. Since the cats have left the room, it's not Sammy as much anymore. It's really more like Nancy. And it kind of makes sense because like when they were outside, Nancy would be out on her own. And I always said that she was like the scout. She'd be out scouting and then the other cats would kind of follow her if she gave the approval for someplace. So it's almost like that in the house now. I mean, the cats still look up to Sammy, so maybe it's like a co-alpha type situation. Or maybe Sammy's turning into alpha number 2. But it's really like the two of them. It's like Sammy and Nancy keeping everyone in line. Okay, guys, you going to eat some breakfast? You going to have some breakfast? Who are we missing, Ziggy? She's laying down over there. Be nice to Richard. Be nice to Richard. Be nice to Richard. Poor Richard. All the girls are picking on him. Okay. Now, you have to remember that I'm standing here with 2 platters of food in one hand and a camera in another hand. Nancy just broke that one up. Nancy came over and hissed at the two of them and she said, break it up. Did you see that? So what I was saying is, I'm standing here with 2 platters of food in one hand and a camera in the other hand. And the best time to train cats for pets is right before they're eating. Really, the best time to train cats for anything is when they're hungry and when they want to eat. So, if I want to try to pet them, I'm going to have to put the camera down. And if I put the camera down, that means I'm not filming it. Because I don't have a tripod to set the camera on right now over here. And so that's the situation. If you're watching these videos, you have to remember that I don't film everything. It's impossible for me to film 24 hours a day and then pick and choose what I want to edit. I film what I can. And then out of what I film, I pick and choose what I want to include in the videos. If something is not relevant to me at all, to the progress of the cats, or if it's something that I don't want to document for myself for future reference, then I don't include it. So that's the situation. Okay, I just put the platters down. Notice how they're on that platter because it's farther away from me. Ziggy's on this platter. You can see where I took the food off the platter for Ringo. Now I just squatted down so the camera can be closer and I could be within arm's reach of the cats. And notice how Ziggy ran off. I want to try to pet her, but look, she's already skittish about it. If I put my arm out, look, she backs away. And this is what's going on the play rug. So Stella, Boo, and Simba ate all their food. I don't know who ate what. I don't know if Boo ate everyone's food or what. Actually, I just realized I was supposed to mix some canned food into Simba's food because he has a tendency to eat this homemade raw food too fast and then puke it up. That's potentially an issue. Let's hope he doesn't vomit it today, but chances are good he will. And here's Splash's plate. Splash ate all his food also. Right now, Splash is in the litter box. So about an hour or two after I observed him not being in the litter box this morning, he went back to being in the litter box again. But maybe every day it'll just get a little bit better. So here's Simba. Now, if Simba does vomit up his breakfast today, let's hope it's on the floor and not on a rug, and especially not on the bed and not on furniture. That's my hope for Simba today. Right, Simba? So, we're all going to be very calm and hope that Simba digests his food. I should get some paper platters and keep them in here just in case I hear like him pumping, because the last time he tried to vomit, actually the last 2 times that I heard Simba vomiting, I was able to run in with a paper plate and catch most of it. So that's really helpful. Okay, I got 2 of the paper platters, and I'm going to keep them in this room just in case he has an issue. I also wanted to remind people that training cats and dealing with feral cats is not my full-time job. And that on days like today, training the cats is not my top priority. It's on the agenda. You know, a little bit of progress every day definitely helps, but I have a lot of work to do today, and that is really the goal of the day, is to get everything done that I need to get done work-wise. Then I'll have more time with the cats. On top of that, you also have to remember the fact that you're seeing this video means I'm also posting videos on YouTube, and I have a YouTube channel to manage, and that takes a lot of time and effort also. For every 20 minutes of video that you see, it takes about an hour of editing time, and of course you have to process the videos and upload the videos and publish the videos and all that stuff. So that takes up a very good chunk of the day also. So to do everything that I'm doing, it requires a lot of balance and a lot of time management, because it's very easy just to not get stuff done. So always keep that in mind. When I'm posting these videos, I'm not just dealing with cats all day and training cats all day. That's not what I'm about. That's what these videos are about. But there's a lot of other stuff going on that is not cat related. And that's why you only see a small fraction of the day in the life of these cats. It's 11:45 a.m. I was just on a work call, and in the middle of the call, all I hear is like cats running and fighting. I don't know what's going on. There's Splash on top of the armoire. I'm assuming Simba's in the penthouse. Maybe that's why Splash doesn't want to go in. I don't know who was starting the fight. I might have to look at the security camera to see if it caught like who was running around. So it looks like Ringo's under the bed, but Ringo's under the bed a lot. It doesn't necessarily mean he was involved in anything. Here's Boo. He looks like he's concerned about whatever's going on. There's Stella. Here's Nancy. I wonder if Nancy was involved in it. So here's Stella, and let me tell you what else happened while I was on that business call. So I'm on the phone, and Stella comes up to me, and she's like standing on her hind legs, and she's pawing at me with her front paws. And I thought she wanted pets, and I was like, okay, Stella, I'll give you pets. But then I started smelling poop, and I was like, Stella, is there something wrong? Are you trying to tell me something? Why do I smell poop? I thought maybe she had some poop hanging off the back of her or something like that, but I didn't see any. And I just continued on with my phone call, and I noticed that I smelled poop. So I was like, that's really, really weird. I checked all the floor, like near the dining room table where I was sitting. I checked everything, and no poop around there. So I was like, that's just really strange. Well, a minute or two ago, when I came into this room, the living room here, here's the play rug, I started smelling it again. I was like, what is going on? And then I saw this. I don't know why that is there. I don't know who it's from. I looked at the security camera footage to see like who was running around, and they didn't run past the security camera. So I'm gonna clean this up, but I must have a really good nose because I was able to smell it from the whole opposite end of the house. Now, granted, it's not the biggest house, but you're talking 20, 30 feet away, so it's pretty good. It's almost 2 p.m. and here's Splash. He's on the bed. I have to come in the room and shut the window because it's raining. There's Simba. Simba's in the penthouse. How you doing, Splashy? It actually sounds like it might be hailing outside. Here's Boo. He's on his day sofa. How you doing, Boo? He's so happy. What's happening is it's just about freezing out because everything looks like, it actually looks like there might be ice on the patio. Here's Stella. She's sleeping in her castle on her princess quilt. And she's on her pillow, guys. Look, she's using her pillow. Stella's using her pillow. It's the same exact pillow that she used like, oh my gosh, like 6 or 7 years ago when she first came inside. She still loves her pillow. And look at what's going on downstairs. Look, there's 5 cats and 5 beds. So there's 3 beds on the couch and there's a cat in each bed. And there's 3 beds on the floor and there's a cat in 2 of the beds. No one's in the IKEA bed. Maybe they smell Boo on it and they don't want to go in that bed. So there's 5 in the beds. Ringo is probably underneath my bed. That means, where is the 6th one? Possibly underneath the ottoman that Splash likes to lay on top of. There's probably a cat underneath that ottoman. Because I don't see any cats anywhere else. I'm not going to turn the light on to like inspect. To me, I don't see Sammy. So I see 3 tabbies, 2 torties. I don't see Sammy. So Sammy is somewhere. I don't know where she is. But these look like happy cats to me. I think I'm going to have to put another bed down here. Probably 2 other beds. That'll be 7. They could all come down here if they want and lay in the beds. They've all taken a bed. I don't know where the other beds are. These are not the flat beds that I have under the day sofa. These are like the round, fluffy beds. Actually, I think I might have had to get rid of one of the round beds because when I put it in the washing machine, it burst open and there was no saving it. I have to look around the house. So I just found this bed. It was in the closet in this room. Now, this was Ditto's bed. And I'm pretty sure I had put this through the washing machine after Ditto passed. Because I remember going through everything in this room and tossing whatever was just, too far stained or ruined or anything. And then I remember putting things in the wash that were salvageable. I'm just kind of looking through it now. This was Ditto's bed. This definitely went through the wash and the cats have been enjoying it. So I'm going to inspect this one, make sure it's okay, and then I'm going to put this downstairs and see if maybe Sammy wants to lay in it down there. I just came downstairs and Sammy's not under the ottoman, so I don't know where she is. I'm going to put the other bed down here anyway. I wonder if I should just put it on top of the IKEA bed. I don't want to move the IKEA bed because the other cats like it in this location. They don't use it in other locations, but for some reason they like it in this location. Okay, I just put the bed on the IKEA bed, so we'll see if they use that. You could see that they vacated because they're a little nervous. I don't know where Sammy is. I don't think she's upstairs, unless she's like behind a curtain or something. There's Sammy. She was in the carrier. So I always have this soft-sided carrier here because sometimes like Stella or Splash like to lay in it, and that's where Sammy was. Sammy, you're in the carrier. That's actually good training. The problem that I have with this carrier is because it's soft-sided, like it has this mesh. I don't trust this mesh because Simba was able to claw himself out of like a playpen that had this mesh. So I feel like if a cat is really, really determined, they could get through that. Look at little Eva. They were probably up all night, so they're tired. I told Nancy to get off the table, so now she's looking for Splash. She can't find him. He's behind the chair. Uh-oh. I think she found him.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It's 9:45 a.m. and I have to document what just happened. So I gave Stella, Boo, Splash, and Simba their food here on the play rug a little while ago. I don't know, 5 minutes ago. Then I put 2 platters of food downstairs for the kittens. When I went downstairs, I noticed there were 5 cats downstairs. I was missing Richard and I was missing Ringo. So I left the plates down there. They started eating, and then I came back upstairs. And when I came back into this room, Boo was sitting here on this ottoman, and Richard was eating Boo's food. So Boo let Richard eat his food. And then Simba was backing away from his plate, and Ringo was going to eat Simba's plate. And I was shocked by that. I mean, the fact that Boo just let Richard have his plate of food just goes to show you that Boo is like that. Whenever the other cats want to eat Boo's food, he always just backs away from the food. He's like, okay, yeah, you could eat it. That's exactly what he probably did for Richard. He just was like, okay, well, if you're hungry, you can eat my food. That's how Boo is. So I rewarded Boo with some crunchies. What I was able to do is I was able to get Richard and Ringo to go downstairs just through removing the plate he was eating off of, and then how I was able to position myself and say, no, your food's downstairs. And then I just walked toward them, and then they were able to walk down the hallway, through the kitchen, and then downstairs. So right now all 7 cats are eating downstairs, and Boo's finishing his food. Stella has a little bit of food left. That was Splash's plate, and that's Simba's plate. So Simba didn't eat much. I'm probably going to put his plate aside for him. I don't want to force him to eat because sometimes he does vomit in the morning after he eats, if he eats too much or too fast. I'll just put his plate aside so no one else eats it, and then I'll go downstairs and see what the other kittens ate off of the platters. Want your food, Simba? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this food on the tray that I have on the floor with the water, and then I'm going to shut the door. So if Simba wants to eat it, he can, and it'll keep the other cats from eating it. Look what's going on here. Look, we have 2 empty platters, and I just realized that I need to shut the door behind me. So all 7 kittens are down here today, and I just shut the door because I want to keep them down here. I need to go out for a while, and I'll be gone for several hours, most likely. And this is going to be a test, because if I need to go away for a full day, or even possibly an overnight trip, am I going to be able to keep these cats down here instead of in the room that they have been in? So they really have taken nicely to having more space around the house. And while they do get along with the other cats, if I'm gone for an extended amount of time, it's likely that there can be issues with the other cats. Today's a test. So I put the other round bed here on the IKEA bed. Maybe I should move the round bed on the floor so someone could sleep in the IKEA bed if they want to. That's probably what I'll do. 3 beds here. There'll be 3 beds on the floor, and then I'll have the IKEA bed, and obviously they could rest in the carrier. Also, yeah, I mean, they have everything that they need down here. There's water. I'm going to give them a little bit more breakfast because they ate everything. There's litter boxes. The only thing I do need to do, I was thinking about rearranging the litter boxes and taking 2 of the litter boxes from the room upstairs. There's no reason to have 4 litter boxes in the room upstairs. They're only using 2 of the litter boxes up there. They're not using the 2 litter boxes that are in the shelves. So I was thinking of moving those 2 down here. They would fit where I have the litter boxes now. I would have to remove one of the litter boxes I have now and then put the 2 from upstairs there. That would give them 3 down here. And then if I was like going away for a full day or overnight, I would put a few more litter boxes down here. So that could work. So we're going to see how it works today with these guys down here, the other guys upstairs. Will it be okay? What will happen? Okay, so here's what's going on with the beds. I moved the IKEA bed over a little bit, and then I slid these 3 down. So there's the 3 on the sofa, 3 on the floor, the IKEA bed, and then next to it is the carrier. So I had a whole bunch of toys in this basket. I just dumped the basket out. I have to pick up the smaller pom-poms since Richard likes to tear the pom-poms apart. I don't want them to have those pom-poms. It's 12 p.m. I just came downstairs to see what's going on, and look at this. So they took one of the cat beds down. There's Richard and Goldie. There's Sammy. So I had some mouse videos on the TV for them, so I think that's why no one's really sleeping. But that's good that they're active. Maybe they'll sleep more at night. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, Ziggy. Ziggy is in the carrier. Look at that. Ziggy's in the carrier. It is just about 9 p.m. I've pretty much been out all day. I just got back and I thought I would be back sooner, but it was a beautiful day and I ended up getting a whole bunch of stuff done and just taking some time out and away from the house and away from the cats, and it was a very nice afternoon. So I just got back and look what they did. They knocked down the carrier that was on this trunk. They knocked over the arch. The beds are pretty much where I left them. Some of the beds on the floor have been moved out, but other than that, it looks like they've been playing with some of the toys. I already scooped all the litter. They've been using the litter boxes, obviously. They've been down here. So I have some paper platters in my hand. I'm going to put their food on it, give them their food down here. I'm going to keep the door shut until they eat. Okay, I just gave them 2 platters of food. One is wellness chicken and lobster. The other has wellness chicken. So hopefully everyone will go and eat. It's 12 p.m. and here's Ringo. He's on top of the cat tower in my bedroom. And look who's on top of the armoire. It's Richard. They're hanging out. They're looking out the window. I don't know why they don't want to go into their room or the room. I guess they're enjoying spending some time in this room. There's Goldie. There's Nancy. I don't know who else is in here. So they spent last night downstairs. I shut the door so there would be no fighting. And last night, Nancy tried to attack Splash around midnight. So I was trying to go to bed and Nancy was literally chasing Splash around the house trying to attack him. So I had to get in the middle of that and kind of shoo her downstairs. Once she was downstairs, then I shut the door and I was like, okay, so it's just going to stay this way. What happened was then Splash started having his litter box issues where he goes to the litter box every 5 or 10 minutes and only makes like a little tiny bit of pee. And that's what he did for about 2 hours. So after he did that about 3 or 4 times, I got up and I made him a squeeze up and I put some of the CBD oil in it because I know that can help relax him. That helped Boo when Boo had the same exact issue. I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it eventually kicked in, but eventually around 2 in the morning, he stopped using litter boxes so much. I don't know if he finally relaxed and went to sleep. But another thing that he did was that he had like the zoomies. He was like running all around the house at top speed. I was like, what is going on? I thought he just wanted to get some energy out because, you know, he spent so much time just like hiding under beds and hiding in this room. So I thought maybe that was part of what it was. So I don't know. But I finally ended up falling asleep a little bit after 2 a.m. And then I was up at my pretty much normal time this morning. So I'm definitely lacking on sleep today. And look at what I just noticed here. Look at this. So they knocked my potted plant down. I have this on a small table that I have the TV on in this room, and I guess they decided they're going to pull it down. So now I have to put this back and I have to vacuum. It is 12:15 and this is Nancy stalking Splash. Splash is on the floor below the coffee table. Nancy is on top of the coffee table. Nobody is supposed to be on top of tables in this house. Nobody, Nancy. I told Nancy to get off the table, so now she's looking for Splash. She can't find him. He's behind the chair. Uh-oh. I think she found him. So I think this is like an alpha or dominance thing between her and Splash. But it could be that she likes Splash. But Splash is going to have to work this out on his own. You know, he's going to have to kind of, you know, be confident and strong with regards to Nancy. But she's flicking her tail back and forth, which means she's agitated. It's 4 p.m. and Boo has been sleeping on the day sofa. And Nancy's in the cat tower. And Goldie was in the cat tower in my room, but when I was looking for the camera, she jumped off. Here's Stella, she's on the bed. And there's Splash, he's on the bed also. Who's in the penthouse? I think Simba's in the penthouse. Here's Goldie. She's been hissing at me from down the hall. Hey, Goldie. And look at this, someone's laying on a sofa cushion. I think it's Richard. I have to vacuum the house right now and clean things up, so none of the cats are gonna like all the noise. It's 11:24 p.m. Here's Nancy. And there's Splash. And Nancy and Splash just got into a disagreement. And Splash, he's been growling and hissing, and he's been telling her. Splash told Nancy he's not putting up with any of her shenanigans. She better stay away from him, and that he is the boss. And now Nancy's rubbing up against me. But I think she might have gotten the message. He was really, really growling and hissing at her. So hopefully she will just stay out of his space and not try to attack him. Basically, they're establishing the pecking order. And Splash wants to make sure that she doesn't think she's going to be, you know, over him in the pecking order. Because it should be, you know, the other 4 cats, Boo, Stella, Splash, Simba, and then the kittens underneath them. That's what the pecking order should be. So I'm very proud of Splash for standing up for himself, and I do have to say that he seems to be coming out of his shell. Like, he's not running and hiding as much as he normally does. I actually got to lay on the bed with him today. Like, he normally lays on my bed in the middle of the day. And today was the first time ever that I was able to lay down on the bed and he didn't jump off because he was afraid. And he got a lot of pets. And he was even on top of the TV unit today, which I've never seen him there before. It's 11:30 p.m. Here's Stella. I don't know why she's hanging out here. She was laying on this pillow next to her for a while. And now she's hanging out here on the day sofa. Here's Simba. He's been on top of the cat tower. And Splash just walked in the room. And Splash is underneath the day sofa. There's Splash under the day sofa. See him? I don't know what's going on because it's very rare that these 3 hang out in this room at night. Like, sometimes they'll be in here during the day to look out the windows. I don't think I've ever seen the 3 of them in this room at night before. And here's Boo. He's perched on this ottoman. It's 8:25 a.m. I was just walking past the room. Both Simba and Splash are in the litter boxes. I think Splash is just laying in that one for comfort. And Simba's actually using it, so he's like covering his up. But yeah, Splash is not in a doing his business position. He's just like laying there. So last night the cats were all together. There goes Simba. There's Nancy. So last night the cats were all together and There was 1 or 2 points in the middle of the night where I did hear cats running around. I didn't hear any like massive cat fights. I was like, I wonder if someone's chasing someone or are they just playing? But to be honest, I was so exhausted from just a really busy week that I was like, I'm not even dealing with it. I'm just falling back asleep. I'm like, they're just gonna have to work it out. Here's Boo. He's on top of this ottoman. He's watching nature videos. I just put nature videos on the TV for him. Grandma and Grandpa are coming to visit today, so I'm trying to get the cats ready. I'm trying to get myself ready. And it'll be interesting to see what all the kittens do today. Last time Grandma and Grandpa were here, the kittens were all in, the room, and they all hid under the day sofa all day. They came out a few times, so Grandma and Grandpa could actually, get a peek of them through the gates. But other than that, they hid all day. So the question is, are they going to hide all day today? And if so, where? It's 2 p.m. and Richard was laying down in the cat tower. And there's Boo. So Boo and Richard have been sharing the cat tower. The only reason Richard got down is because I just turned the camera on. Here's Sammy. Sammy's been talking to me. Here's Simba. Simba's taking a nap in this cat tower. Here's Nancy, and there's Ringo. Where were you guys? Here's Splash. Splash is relaxing in a cat tower. Hi, Splashy. And there's Stella. Stella's sleeping on a dining room chair. It is 2:05 p.m. and I was just sitting on the floor here reading a book called The Healing Power of the Sun. And I'm sitting in the sun. Well, I was. It's a bit cloudy right now, but as I was sitting here on the floor, Sammy wanted pets, Nancy wanted pets, Richard wanted pets, and when I turned around to get a notebook and a pen, then I saw Ringo was watching me, and look, here's Ziggy. So I'm going to sit on the floor again and read a little bit in this book, and we'll see what happens with the cats. You okay, Richard? You want more pets? Okay. Good pets. Good pets. Okay? Good. So I'm here with Richard giving him pets. And Ziggy was right here. Oh, here's Boo. Be nice, Boo. Boo just hissed at Richard. What are you doing, Boo? You're gonna lay on the day sofa? You're gonna lay on your favorite piece of furniture? You were sleeping on the cat tower. You're sleeping on the cat tower, Boo. Okay? So there goes Boo. He's up by the window, which is fine. Look at Nancy. She has her paw in that toy. I'm not turning it on. Look at Nancy. She's laying next to me. She's all stretched out. Look what's going on here. So Stella showed up, and Nancy's here, and Stella's been growling, and Nancy's been howling. But I have this toy, and I'm trying to get them to play with it at the same time. They kind of are both playing with it at the same time, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to keep Nancy from chewing on my books. It's 5:10 p.m. and here's Sammy. She's laying on this pillow on top of the day sofa. She's relaxing. And I just wanted to film some observations and some commentary on what happened yesterday with regards to the kittens. So yesterday, Grandma and Grandpa came over. It was the 3rd time that they've been here since the kittens have been inside. So the first time was back in November. The kittens were in the process of being dewormed. They were going through their deworming protocol in this room, and Grandma and Grandpa did not want to really disturb them or anything, and they were kind of freaked out. They all hid under the day sofa that day. And then a few weeks ago, Grandma and Grandpa came over, and all the kittens were in this room, and they all hid under the day sofa. They did come out a few times, so Grandma and Grandpa could actually see them through the gate, but if Grandma and Grandpa tried to come into the room, forget about it. They all hid. They were all very scared. Yesterday was the first time that Grandma and Grandpa came over that the kittens were not in this room. They were downstairs, and once they heard Grandma and Grandpa in the house, they all hid really good. I couldn't even find them. and Sammy squashed herself on top of a very tall shelf. She had a look of complete terror on her face. Like, I think all the kittens were so afraid of not knowing what was going to happen to them. I think they hid because they were afraid that someone was going to try to take them away. So that's what happened. A few times during the day, a few of the cats came out. Like, I know Grandpa was downstairs at one point and Ziggy was running around, but she was running around to hide. And then I was downstairs with Grandma and I was showing her where 3 of the cats were hiding. And then they didn't like that we saw where they were hiding, so then they ran to hide somewhere else. And there was really no interaction. I even had Grandma go downstairs and, wiggle some wand toys around to try to get someone to come out and play, but they didn't want to come out to play. So they were all really, really afraid of Grandma and Grandpa. And I had to remind Grandma and Grandpa that it took a long time for Stella, Boo, Splash, and Simba to not be afraid of them also, because the only reason why the other cats are not afraid of them is because they used to come over and cat sit. Like, when I would be away on a business trip, Grandma and Grandpa would come over and spend like an entire week with the cats. So they got used to each other, and the cats, come out right away. When Grandma and Grandpa come over, the cats don't hide. They come out right away. But we have to remember that it is normal cat behavior for a cat to hide when somebody that they don't know very well comes to visit. So I just wanted to document that because I feel like it means these kittens are very content here. At the same time, I don't think any of them are ready to be adopted out anywhere. I don't even know if that is a possibility. I mean, all 7 are so bonded to each other that if they were adopted out, I would want all 7 to be adopted out together. But they're so not wanting to go anywhere. Like, they're so afraid of being taken away somewhere that I don't think it's going to be feasible, at least anytime in the near future. Right, Sammy? Sammy's like, shut up, I want to take a nap. Okay, you can take a nap, Sammy. It's 10:45 a.m. All right, we just saw it. That's what was going to happen. I walked past and I saw Richard just about to jump up on Boo. And Boo was kind of oblivious to it, so I said, let me go get the camera. And by the time I got back, Boo was onto Richard, and we just saw what happened. I don't know why, but Richard likes to do this to cats on, like, cat towers or, I guess, on shelves or whatever. But I'm glad Boo held his own. It's really just a question of these cats working it out amongst themselves right now, because I do feel that we've got past the point where there could be like really serious fights. I don't want to jinx anything by saying that, so I'm very hesitant to say that, but it has been quite a while now that the cats have known about each other. It's been a very slow integration procedure. Remember, first the kittens were in this room with the door shut for about 2 months until they were completely free of worms. And then they were in this room with the gates and the doors for a while, several weeks. And then they were let out while the other cats were not around. And then they were gradually allowed to be together. And right now, they're pretty much together all the time. So we are at a point where there are some scuffles, but I think for the most part, there's no real maliciousness between the cats. I think they're just trying to figure out the pecking order. And hopefully there won't be any major issues. But speaking of issues, here's Simba. He's in this cat tower right now, and Simba's been vomiting this morning. So around 4 a.m., Simba decided he wanted to jump on me while I was sleeping and get a whole bunch of pets, which was fine. And then he settled down and he was sleeping right next to me. So I guess he wanted some cuddles. And then I don't know what time. I think maybe 6 a.m. he got up At one point he did get up, and I remember falling back asleep, and then the next thing I remember is hearing a cat vomiting. And I remember thinking, oh, that's probably Simba, because he got up to go scavenge any kind of food that's still on a plate or somewhere around the house, because Simba's the one that does that. And I forgot to pick up the plates from last night when the cats have their snack at night. If I don't pick up the plates, what happens is around 4 or 5 a.m., Simba will get up and he'll scavenge any food that's left on them. So that's what he did. Also, the kittens downstairs have a crunchy feeder, and somebody gorged themselves on crunchies and vomited a whole bunch of crunchies in the bathroom downstairs near the litter boxes. And then up here, it was just like the residual liquid vomiting, and I'm pretty sure it was Simba. I'm going to watch the security camera that I have in the bathroom down there. Hopefully I'll be able to see something on that as to who it was. And yeah, so I gave Simba his breakfast. He really didn't eat it. He probably just needs to have his stomach calm down. And then a bit later, I will see if he wants a squeeze up or a churu or something. But yeah, not something pleasant to deal with in the morning. Here's Boo. He just jumped into the cat tower. There's Simba next to him. And I just looked at the security camera footage from where I found the vomit downstairs. And it does not appear to be Simba. I actually think it was Richard. And I think it happened sometime around like 2 o'clock in the morning. And from what I could see, it was Richard. I also noticed something very interesting, which is that I put a third litter box down there. And almost every single cat went up to the litter box and just rolled around in the litter. They just rolled around the litter, and then they laid in the litter for a while. It's just really strange that they did that, because it's not like I put fresh litter in the box. I know cats like to do that sometimes when there's fresh litter, but it's been down there for a few days. It's not like it's fresh, but I don't know why, but they love sitting and laying in that litter. It's 3 p.m. Look how Richard is sleeping. How is that comfortable? He takes after his uncle Simba. Here's Simba and Stella. Hello, Stella. Stella's laying in the sun. The window's open a little bit. It's getting colder. We're supposed to actually get a little bit of snow in a few hours. I'm going to shut the window. There's Splash. Hi, Splash. There's Boo. He's very happy on the day sofa in his room. And there's Sammy. She's on top of the cat tower. The 2 black cats hanging out together in the room. Sammy. And Boo. And what's going on down here? Someone knocked one of the beds off of the sofa. And I'm pretty sure that's little Eva, because that's her favorite bed. Like, she's claimed that bed. She loves that bed, so I'm pretty sure that's her. This is the foster room that I had the 7 kittens in, and I thought I would film a tour of this room before I start moving anything out of it.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
So this is a small room. It's only 8 feet wide by 11.5 feet long. This house was built in the 1950s. So back then, rooms were a bit smaller, houses were a bit smaller. So this is the smallest room in the house other than the bathrooms. And I was able to successfully rehab 7 cats in this room. When I say rehab, they were all trapped individually, one by one. Every few days I was trapping another cat. I would bring the trap in here. They would spend the night. The next day I would take them to the vet for their spay or their neuter. They would come back. They would spend another night in the trap. And then the following day I would let them out. and they could be with their siblings. And so that happened 7 times over the course of a month. Then they spent another month in this room while they were being dewormed. I wanted to make sure they had absolutely no worms, that they're stool tested clean before I let them have access to any other part of the house or to any kind of interaction with any of my other cats. So during the time that they're in this room, I made a lot of changes, and I basically made it work. And I thought I would show you how I did that. So the door on the left here is the door to the hallway, and then there's another door here, and this is a closet. It's not a large closet. It probably extends maybe another foot this way. It's like an old-fashioned closet, but it is very helpful for storing cat supplies. So I have cleaning supplies in here. I have all kinds of supplies that I use for this room. I'm not going to open it because it is stuffed, like it is full, because it's not just cat supplies for this room. I have all kinds of other stuff in there. I did not have a chance to empty it before all the cats started coming inside, and I didn't want to scare them by emptying all the stuff out while they were inside. So I've just been making do with that. It was not my intention to foster 7 cats in this room. It just happened when the first one escaped from the trap. So then I said, okay, well, if that one wants a chance for an indoor life, to be an inside cat, I'll give them all a chance. And that's what happened. So right here is where I have a water bowl, and this is one of those water dispensers. It works really well here because it's close to the entrance door, and so if I need to refill anything, I could do that easily. What I would normally do on a daily basis is I bring in like it's like a shallow tub, and I just empty it into the plastic tub, and then I take the water away, and then when all the water is out of the dispenser, then I take the whole thing out, wash it, refill it, and put it back here. So this was actually just refilled today. Right here I have a little table. This was a later addition to the room because I wanted to bring in a small TV. The TV serves a few purposes. So one of the ways I was training the cats to get used to me is by sitting in this room and watching some TV. So that's why I have the TV. Also, the cats really, really enjoyed watching nature videos on the TV. So that's why I have the TV. And I also had a training video playing on this TV for days. I wanted to teach these cats how to use a cat wheel. And I put together a training video, and I thought, well, maybe by watching the video, they could figure out how to use the cat wheel. So that might have been a success. So this TV actually served 3 purposes. Underneath the table, it fits this cat track. So I just put it there just because it fits, but I've had other toys under there. I'm just trying to make the most efficient use of space. Now this desk was in the room because I was working at this desk. This was like my office room. So this became part of the foster room. I've also used this desk in the past. When Ditto came inside, he had cancer, and I had him in this room for 5 months while we were trying to see if we could find any treatments that worked for him. Unfortunately, we're not successful with that. But I had the desk in here, and it was really helpful because I had all of my cat supplies on top of it. And even now with the foster kittens, when we were in the first 4 weeks of spay and neuter, I had a lot of supplies on top of this desk. It worked really well. Right now I have this cat bed. They love laying on top of it. They love walking on this desk. I have some plants because when Ditto was in here, I bought a bunch of plants to help purify the air for him and to create oxygen in the room. And the cats just really like the greenery. They don't really mess with the plants at all. And I like having the plants here. I also have this little bell. This is like a Tibetan bell. I've had it in here because I was trying to train the cats. Okay, if you hear a bell, then like it's dinner time and stuff like that. So that's why that's there. And then this was like a container of crunchies. And then here I have an LED light at night. It's like a little night light, like a mood light. So this is plugged in to a USB port. And then here I have an Alexa Echo, and that's there for my own entertainment when I'm cleaning the room. Underneath the desk, I have 2 very large litter boxes with 7 cats in this room. I wanted to make sure I could fit in as many litter boxes as I could. So I have 2 large ones under here, and they have the high-sided walls, which are very, very important in small spaces because it really helps to contain the litter. In front of the litter boxes, I have this grass mat. It's like an artificial grass mat. I get these at Daiso, and they really, really help to stop with litter tracking all over the room. There's, you know, still a little bit of litter tracking out, but not as much as it would be without this. They do work really well, even though they're not intended for that purpose. And then on the legs of this table, I have these scratching posts, and the cats like using these, and these are from IKEA. And these are just attached with Velcro. IKEA sells them to put on the legs of these tables. So I have one here and I have another one there. Again, just trying to maximize on the small space. In this corner, I have the air purifier. So I used to have a smaller air purifier. It was maybe 2/3 the size of this one, and it got to the point where the filter was just so full, and I realized, you know, let me try with a larger one and see how it works. So I have this one here on the floor, and this one works great. It works just as well as the smaller one, if not a little bit better. I keep this on the lowest speed, and for the little one I had it on the medium speed. This one is a little bit louder because it has a much stronger, I guess, motor or fan, but it's, you know, it's not too loud. Right now it's not on, but when it is on, it sounds like a low fan in the background. In the corner there, I have some very narrow shelves that I keep some supplies on, some brushes and stuff. And then right here, I have the little dustpan and brush. I just hang it here because it's really easy to grab it and sweep the floor with it. You know, litter can sometimes get into places that the vacuum can't reach, or a larger broom might not be able to reach. And that's another thing that I keep in the closet. I keep a large broom and a waste paper basket so I could sweep out the room. So next to the small narrow shelves in the corner, I have this shelving unit, and this is really the only thing in the room that does not need to be here at all. The only reason why it's here is because it's hooked up to the solar panels that are outside the house here, and I can't run the solar wires into any other room. This is the only place to put it. I'm not going to rearrange all of this just because I had some cats in here for a few months. Right now there's one of my solar generators, and then there's another one down there. I have a few others in the house that I moved out of here because I use them in various locations, but normally there will be other solar generators here, and then I hook them up to the solar panels outside, and they're really great to have for emergencies, or they're really great to have just to use in locations where you don't want to run like a large extension cord across a room or something like that. So for example, I work from home and I don't have a separate office because this was my office. So I've been working on my dining room table, and what I'll do is I'll take one of these portable power stations and I'll be able to like charge my devices on the table. I'll be able to hook up a laptop if I need to, stuff like that. And it's just really, really helpful versus having to run extension cords. So there are 2 windows in this room, and underneath the windows I have these Calyx shelves from IKEA, also from IKEA. Now I've had these for a very long time, and they fit perfectly under these windows. They've moved from room to room in my house, and when I realized I was going to be fostering 7 cats in this room, I made sure to bring them both back here for a variety of reasons. And again, these are multi-purpose. So you can see here on the bottom, IKEA sells litter boxes that fit perfectly in these units. The front comes out a little bit more, but side to side, the width is a perfect fit. And the cats do use these. They haven't used them since they've been out of the room, but when they were in the room, they used these. So I had the 2 litter boxes there and the 2 litter boxes there for a total of 4 litter boxes. And if I needed to go away for 24 hours, that was fine. I could leave them here for 24 hours. The 4 litter boxes were fine. If I was not going anywhere, if I was going to be home, I made sure to scoop them twice a day. But if I missed twice a day, once a day was okay. So IKEA also sells these cat bed inserts, which Right now I have 4 of them in these cubby holes. And they also sell these cushions that go inside of the cat bed inserts. And they were not the biggest hit with the cats. They were kind of like hit and miss. Sometimes the cats would use them. Most of the time they didn't use them. Sometimes they liked using them without the cushions, which is why 2 of them don't have cushions. Sometimes they like using them with the cushions, and sometimes they would literally pull that unit out and just go into the cubby hole without anything. So that's why that one does not have one of those cubby beds in it. These are also great to store toys, so I have some electronic toys in that one. And then in this one, I have this storage unit, which is what I used to have. I used to have these blue, they're like a cardboard storage unit in all of these, and it would look very neat, and I would have all my office supplies, my work from home supplies in those units, and I had to kind of sacrifice all of that for this foster room to give these shelves to the cats. So that worked out okay. And then in this one right now, I just have some cleaning supplies, some pet wipes, some toys, just some like random supplies for the room in there. So as you can see, these Calyx shelving units are multi-purpose, and of course I have a runner on top because the cats love sitting on top of this and looking out the window. It's the perfect height for the windows and for them to do that. They sleep on here, they sit on here, they walk on here. It's like a little runway for them, and yeah, these are really, really, really great shelves for a foster room. Another thing that I had to do was get new blinds for the room. So I had to get these cordless blinds, and these are great. You just pull them down, push them up, and there are no cords. The blinds that I had in here when the foster cats first came in had cords. They had really long cords, and the cats were always unraveling them, getting them down. I used to tie them up on top of the blinds, and they would still go after them and get them down. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the cordless blinds, and these were so much better. So it's really good to have cordless blinds. And then here in the corner I have a cardboard scratcher. They love scratching on these, and I was buying these at Five Below. They were $4.50 each, which is an amazing deal because every other store that I've seen these in, you know, they're at least $10 or more. So to get those for $4.50, that was great. Because after the cats use them for a while, then they get really messy. There's cardboard all over the room, and I like to switch these out pretty often when they really start getting worn out. And the cats do like scratching on these, so that's there in that corner. And then right next to it, I have this cat tree, this cat tower. So this was in here previously. I got this when Ditto was in here, so this is in here way before the foster cats, and all the other cats like sitting on top of this, so I just left it here for the cats. And Sammy especially loves, oh look, Simba's gonna show you. Simba says he is going to illustrate. He'll be the example. Simba says he loves his cat tower because he gets a really good view of the patio and he can watch the birds and the squirrels. So it's really important to have a cat tower, again, so the cats can scratch on it, they could climb on it, they could just kind of relax and sleep on it. So the cats spend time up here. Sometimes they like sitting on the other levels. I've seen them sit on both of these other levels. That's been great. And then they have this toy. It's really good to have lots of different types of toys for them. There's some catnip toys on the bottom here. There's a boa that they like playing with, and then these are just some blankets. They need to be washed, but these are like Dollar Tree blankets that they like to lay on sometimes. So this is the day sofa, and this has been in this room for years. I think I first got it when Boo was in this room, or soon after he was in this room. This room has been used for quite a few cats over the years with regards to recovery, rehabilitation, that kind of stuff. This is a piece of furniture that I got at World Market, and the reason why I got it is because of its versatility and its compact size. So this piece of furniture can be used in 3 ways. It's kind of like a futon, so it has a back, and then it has almost like a mattress, but it's more like a futon that goes on the frame. And right now this side is up, so it's a chase lounge. This side is flat, the middle's flat, and that side is up, so we have a chase lounge. This side can also come up. When both sides are up, then you have like a love seat or a small sofa. And then when that side goes down, you have a flat bed. So it's really, really versatile, and it's actually really, really comfortable. Like, I can lay down on here and take a wonderful nap, or even I slept on here a few nights, and it's very, very comfortable. These are not the pillows that came with it, and it did not come with the blankets on it. But through the years, I found that with the cats, it's just nice to put some blankets on it to protect the cushion. And this body pillow is from IKEA. It's super soft and comfortable, and the cats like laying in the middle of it. They just love laying in the middle of it. And then these are just two other pillows that are more comfortable for me if I'm gonna like lay down on the couch. However, the cats like laying on the pillows also. So this is a really, really great piece of furniture. And one of the most important features of this day sofa is that the cats can go underneath it. It probably has a clearance of, I don't know, maybe like 8 inches. And then once you get past the frame, it's probably like 12 inches in there. But as you can see, there's a cat bed. There's another cat bed. There's a cushion. And I've had all 7 cats hiding under this day sofa. Usually one of the first things that they do when they're released into the room is hide under this day sofa. Ditto spent weeks hiding under this day sofa whenever I was in the room. If I was not in the room or at night, sometimes he would come out and lay on top of it. But for the most part, they love laying under this day sofa, which is why I have these beds underneath it. And these are kind of flat beds. I didn't want beds that were like too tall or just too bulky. And I'm sorry if this is not focusing under there. Sometimes this camera has a hard time focusing under the day sofa. So yeah, the cats spend a lot of time under here. They love it. It's probably one of their favorite places in the room. So that's another really nice feature. And up here on the wall, there is a shelf. Now this shelf was not built for the cats. This was a shelf for me. For my office, but when the cats started jumping up onto the shelf, I was like, okay, I'll empty the shelf and then you could have the shelf. And the cats really like sitting on it, they like laying on it, and they really love walking on it and then taking a flying leap down to the day sofa. They used to love doing that. Right, Simba? Hey, Simba. You tired? And then here in this corner, we have the most recent addition to the room, which is this cat wheel. Now, I've had this cat wheel for so many years. None of my cats would ever use it. I tried training them so much. They would never, ever use it. So I finally said, you know what? Let me bring it up and see if the kittens will use it. I originally had this out in the hallway. The kittens would not use it. So I said, okay, well, let's see if I could fit it in the room. And I was able to fit it here in the corner. It fits actually really nice next to the wall. And I had to lift up this side of the day sofa. Originally I had the day sofa all flat, but I was able to lift this side up, which made room for the wheel. So there's a few inches between the wheel and the day sofa. And the cats actually learned how to use it, or at least 2 of the cats. Sammy and Richard have used this wheel, and it spins no problem. Sammy loves it. When Sammy's in this room, she really loves the wheel. But when they're not in the room, when they have access to the whole house, they don't go on this wheel. So now that the cats are spending a lot more time downstairs, they haven't used this wheel at all. So I'm actually thinking of bringing it back downstairs, which means I would have to then think about rearranging everything down there again. But I was surprised that this fit, and they actually really liked it. Once they got used to it, Sammy took to it within, I don't know, like a week. And yeah, I was really surprised, and they enjoyed using it, and she was using it every day. I would not even have to try to encourage her to use it. She would just use it on her own, and that was really nice. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much every inch of this room is put to use in some kind of productive way for the cats. And another nice thing when you're dealing with a small space, oh, there goes Simba. Is he gonna go in? No, he came out. Now he's using the scratcher. So another important thing when dealing with small spaces and cats is kind of like multiplying the space or multiplying the surfaces. You know, they have a surface underneath the day sofa. They have a surface on top of the day sofa. They have the surfaces within the cubby holes, and then they have the surface on top of the shelves. They have the surfaces underneath the desk. They have the surfaces on top of the desk. Same thing down here for this little table. So that kind of multiplies the space for them. They'll be like walking all along the top of the surfaces, and then they can utilize the space underneath the surfaces. Same thing for the day sofa. They'll be laying underneath it. They'll be laying on top of it. So it really kind of multiplies the space versus just having like one level or one layer for the cats. And it really helps when you have more surfaces and more levels for the cats, because instead of them all just being like on the floor, which would take up a lot more space, you could have one underneath the day sofa, or two underneath the day sofa, two on top of the day sofa, a cat or two by the windows, maybe in the cubby holes, laying here. There's always someone laying up here, someone playing with toys over here, and they would love playing in this area, of course, on the rug here. This is also a really nice area for them to play. And so for a room this size, I think this was a very efficient use of space for the cats. So I wanted to film this video for anyone who is thinking about fostering cats, or is in a position where they have to foster some cats and they don't have a lot of room, because I don't have a lot of room. This is a very small room, but I was able to make it work. If you were to tell me a year ago that I was going to have 7 cats in this room, I would have told you, no way. It's impossible. I can't fit 7 cats in this room. This room is way too small. But now that I've done it, I made it work, and I think it worked really well. So I just wanted to film this tour to give you some ideas on how you can maximize space, and how you can save space, and how you can make a small space work for multiple foster cats. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Now, here is where miracles can happen. Here is where it is very, very important to maintain positive thoughts and a positive attitude.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Hydrox, Ditto, and Boo. The Lucky Ferals.
It is 9 a.m. and I just came downstairs to refill the water bowls and scoop the litter. And there's Goldie, and there's Sammy, there's Nancy. And I walked into the bathroom, and there's a pile of crunchy puke. So last night, there were 2 platters down here, and I put some crunchies on the platters for the cats, and they ate their food. So sometime after that, somebody went into the bathroom where the litter is, and then just threw up a pile of crunchies. Here's the problem. In the pile of crunchies, there's a worm. There's a roundworm. So I now have to deworm all of these cats again. So everyone went through 2 rounds of the dewormer back in November. But I guess I don't know, I guess for somebody it didn't take effect. I'm going to have to look at the security camera footage and see if I could figure out who it is. And it doesn't matter because everyone's been sharing the same litter boxes, so now I don't know how I'm going to do it. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to make sure every cat gets a dewormer. So I just gave Simba a churu with the medicine mixed in, and he ate half of it, so then I had to put some dried sardines on it. He ate everything. Here's Stella. She's kind of waiting for hers now. So thankfully the cats seem to like the flavor of this dewormer, which is the pyrantel pomowate. So I just made a list of the cats, and I'm just going to go down the list and do each cat individually and hope for the best. It's about 10:20 a.m. and it took me about 40 to 45 minutes to get 11 cats to take dewormer in their food. Here's Boo. And here's Boo's plate. So with Boo, what I had to do was I had to put him in this room by himself and give him the dewormer and some churus, and he just lapped it up. Boo loved it. Here's Stella. Stella ate hers in the kitchen, but she wanted it in a Shiba because she would not eat it in a churu. And here's Simba. Simba ate his here in the kitchen, and he ate his in a chicken churu with a few sardines on top. So after Simba had his dewormer, I put him in this room with Boo. I did the same thing for Stella. When she was done with hers, I put her in here with Boo. This is Splash's plate. So Splash had his in a tuna churu, but he wouldn't eat it. So I had to put some dried sardines on it, and then he only ate part of it. So then I had to break out some Temptations and kind of crush up the Temptations on it. Then he ate it, and he ate his here on the play rug in the living room. And Ringo was under the bed in my room, so I had the door shut, so he was isolated in here. And I got his bowl out, the bowl that he had when they were in the kitten room. And I opened up Shiba Cuts in Gravy, and he ate his that way. He licked the bowl clean. So for the big cats and Ringo, they had their dewormer up here, and it was really just isolating each cat with the food to make sure that they ate their whole portion. And if they didn't want to eat the whole portion, just adding a few more toppings to it that encouraged them to eat it more. Now, they did not have a full portion of food. That was all that they had. I'm going to let that sit with them for a few hours. Then I might give them another meal, or they might just wait until dinner. Now, here is where miracles can happen. Here is where it is very, very important to maintain positive thoughts and a positive attitude, because my first thought was, how am I ever going to get dewormer into the other 6 cats that are down here? So what I did was I used the plastic bowls that I had for them, and I put the bowls on the pizza platter, and I put baby food in each bowl. So they each got about 1/3 of a can of baby food. So maybe they got like 1 ounce of baby food each, and it's either the chicken or the turkey baby food. And then I put the dewormer in the baby food, mixed it in. I put all 6 bowls on this platter, and as I was putting the platter down on the floor, like all the cats just kind of went for the platter, but you could see I was able to space them out on the floor. I just wanted to get them far enough away that they're not going to be eating anyone else's food. So little Eva was the gray one, this one was Richard, this one was Sammy, this one was Goldie, and that one was Ziggy. The only one I had a problem with was Nancy, because she didn't want to eat the food in the bowl. But if I put the bowl down over here, then she ate part of the food. However, with Nancy, I know that she's highly motivated by crunchies. So here's what I did with Nancy. Once I knew everyone had pretty much finished everything in their bowl, like they pretty much ate everything, they were just at the point where they're licking the bowls clean. Then I came over here to the bathroom area, and I have crunchies in here. I have like a bunch of cat supplies in here. So this is Nancy's bowl. I put it down, I put some crunchies in it, and she came right over to the bowl. And a few other cats tried to come in with her, but I was able to shut the door, and I was able to isolate her in here. And by putting some crunchies on her food, then she eventually ate it all. So that is how I was able to get dewormer into 11 cats this morning, and I can't even pet or touch 4 of them. And this is what the dewormer looks like. This is a bottle of parental pomowate suspension, 50 milligrams per milliliter. This is a 16-ounce bottle, and I had purchased this on Amazon. What I do is I just pour some out into a little bowl, and then I measure out the dosage with the syringe, and then I syringe it into the food and I mix it in to kind of mask the taste of it. Although Boo really loves the taste of it. It almost tastes like a vanilla pudding or a banana pudding. So yeah, this is actually for humans for pinworm treatment, but it's the same exact stuff giving to cats for roundworms. It's 3:45 p.m. I just got home. Look what's going on here. Stella and Splash are laying on the bed together. He's such a mama's boy. It is 9:50 a.m. Here's Boo. He is relaxing on his cat tower in his office. Here's Simba. Simba's in a cat tower. And who's this? It's Richard. Richard's in a cat tower near Simba. Hey, Richard. And there's Simba. I hope Richard and Simba can be buddies. Hey, Richard. Here's Stella. And Stella did not want to eat her breakfast today. I don't know why, but we are trying out a new routine. So what's been going on for the past few days is that at night, the kittens, all 7 of them, go downstairs and I shut the door. So they spend the night downstairs, and then the other 4 cats spend the night upstairs. And it allows me to get a really good night's sleep, and the other cats get a really good night's sleep. And then in the morning, the kittens start banging on the door, and they want me to let them up. Here's Nancy. Hello, Nancy. I hope Nancy and Stella can be friends. That would be nice if Nancy and Stella could be friends. So what I did today was when I heard them banging on the door at like 6 o'clock in the morning, or a little bit after 6 in the morning, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get up and feed the cats. And then, you know, they'll all be quiet. So I got up and I gave a little bit of food to Boo and Simba because they were up and they were like, okay, we'll eat. So I gave them a little bit of food. They had like half a Shiba each. Just I wanted to see if they would eat it, and they ate it. So then I gave them the other half of the Shiba. And I put some food out for Stella and Splash, but they didn't really want to eat because, you know, they were off their schedule. It was kind of early for them. Eventually Splash ate some food, but Stella still did not want to eat. But I gave her like a squeeze up or a churu, and she ate that. So I was like, okay, well, at least she'll eat that. Then I went downstairs and I gave the cats downstairs like 2 cans of food. So I gave them 2 platters, and each platter had 1 can of food on it. And so for 7 cats, it's only like a quarter of a can each, which is not a lot. I just wanted to see, okay, will they eat it on this new schedule? I came back upstairs and I gave the other cats a little bit more breakfast, and they ate that. Stella still did not want to eat her food, so I wasn't going to push it or anything. After I saw who ate what, I went back downstairs and I gave them a little bit more food, and then they ate the rest of their food also. And it was actually pretty nice because once all the cats ate, then, you know, they just go about their day. They're not really bothering me for food or for anything, really. Stella was the only one that didn't eat, and I tried giving her a Shiba. She didn't want the Shiba, which is very strange for Stella because she usually loves Shibas. I also then gave her a different kind of Shiba. I gave her like a chicken Shiba because all the Shibas that I was giving everyone were fish-based because it's fish day. So then I was like, let me give her a chicken one. She still didn't want it. So I gave her another squeeze up, and then she ate that. So all she's had today is a churu and a squeeze up. So I don't know if she's not feeling well. Last night, Simba did not really want to eat dinner, but then today he ate a really good breakfast. So maybe she's not feeling well. Maybe she doesn't want to eat breakfast. We do have to remember that they all had deworming medication, I don't know, like 48 hours ago. And they do say one of the side effects of the dewormer could be lack of appetite, could be nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, that kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll pass for Stella. I'll try to give her some squeeze-ups and churros today. She didn't want a temptation. She didn't want any crunchies. Like whatever I tried to give her, she didn't want. So we'll see how today goes. Maybe I'll go out and buy some more Shibas for the cats. They really like those recently. I don't know why, but they're not eating the wellness pate as well as they were before. I don't know if they're tired of it or what. So I'm trying to find like some kind of alternative that they will eat. I also need to make them more homemade raw food. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if I'm going to do that tomorrow, but sometime within the next 24 to 48 hours, I definitely need to make new homemade raw food. And I have all the ingredients. I just need to like defrost the chicken and stuff. And when I say defrost it, I mean I just need to defrost it to a point where I could put it through the grinder. Like when it's frozen solid, I can't do that. But if it's even semi-frozen, then I can do that. As long as it's like pliable. I've made raw food where it was so cold I could barely even touch it to kind of mix it together with my hands, even with my hands in gloves to mix it together. And, you know, when you're dealing with raw food that you're then going to refreeze, you definitely don't want to totally defrost it like up to room temperature or anything. You want to make sure it stays cool at all times. And then, you know, when it's refrozen, it's fine. So that's the situation. That's what's going on. We're working on a new routine that works for everyone. And I think by feeding the kittens their dinner downstairs, getting them used to having that downstairs, and then just keeping them there overnight, and then them having their breakfast downstairs, and then, okay, all the doors are open. During the day, you guys can mingle, and everyone can be together all day. And we'll see how that goes for a while. And, you know, we'll take it from there. Right, Stella? So it is 10:15 a.m. and I just tried giving Stella a chicken churro a few minutes ago. She didn't want to eat it. And then when she stood up, it looked like there was like some matting on the back of her fur, you know, kind of near her butt. And then she was trying to wipe her butt on the rug. And I think she has an upset stomach. I think she has diarrhea. So one of the cats downstairs had diarrhea last night because it smelled really bad when I was scooping the litter boxes, and then I saw it in the litter box. So I'm thinking maybe Stella is having a similar situation. Again, it could be from the dewormer because that is a potential side effect from the dewormer. Or maybe it's from something that the cats ate. I'm trying to think if they ate anything different than they normally eat. Yeah, no, other than just having some more Shibas recently. I'm going to keep an eye on her. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy some other flavors of the churro because she likes some of the other flavors also. And I'm going to buy a rotisserie chicken, see if the cats will eat some chicken. Usually they say to give a cat with an upset stomach some plain chicken. That's good for them. And so Stella's pretty much under observation. I'm going to keep an eye on her and hopefully she'll feel better soon. Right, Stella? It's 11:50 a.m. Here's Simba. He vomited, I don't know, 20 minutes ago or so. And I cleaned it up. And as I was cleaning it up, I noticed that the litter in the cat room was really stinky. And I noticed that even though I had scooped it out this morning, it looked like it was full again, like it had been used quite a few times. So I just scooped out the litter again, and somebody passed worms on poop. And there's clearly worms, clearly roundworms. So I said, let me look at the security camera footage in the room to see if I could see who it was. And it appeared that it was Stella. So, after I scooped the litter this morning, Stella went and used the litter box, and evidence points to it being her. So I guess she had some worms, and that's probably why she's feeling the effects of the dewormer, because they say that when a cat has worms and then when they take a dewormer, they could have some digestive discomfort because of, you know, the worm die-off. So I think that's what's going on with Stella. And the only other cat that also used the litter box was Splash, but he's acting totally normal, and he's been acting normal all day. So that's why evidence points to Stella. I also scooped the litter boxes downstairs. I might have seen a worm or two down there, not as apparent as what was up here. So I'm going to let her relax and rest. She's happy here. And I'm going to go out, buy more litter, buy more supplies. It's not too bad today, so if I get back in time, if I have time this afternoon, I'll probably take some litter boxes outside, scrub them down, and fill them up with fresh litter. and that'll be good. But for now, we're keeping Stella under observation, and I'm just gonna let her relax. She's probably not feeling too well after passing those worms. There's Splash. He's resting comfortably on a sofa cushion. It's 5 p.m. and here's Stella, and I don't know, like an hour and a half ago, she ate some Temptations treats, and she had 2 churros. Now, she did not eat any breakfast, right, Stella? And I did not have any food left out overnight at all, right? So I just walked in the room, and all of a sudden I saw her, and it looked like she was wanting to vomit. So I grabbed a paper plate, and I was trying to catch the vomit with the paper plate. It didn't work because she didn't want to vomit on the paper plate, but let me show you what happened. Stella just vomited all this food. She didn't eat all day. So this is potentially what she ate for dinner last night. To me, I'm just trying to think, like, is it possible this was in her stomach all night? I mean, it's almost 24 hours since she ate dinner yesterday. How is this even possible? It is 8 p.m. and the kittens are all downstairs with the door shut. I gave them their dinner already. And I'm just about to feed the bigger cats their dinner, and I remembered that I bought some cat grass today. So I was in PetSmart, and they had beautiful, beautiful cat grass. You could tell it's beautiful because the tops are not flat, like they have not been cut yet, and that's how you know cat grass is fresh if you see it in the store. So when I saw it in the store, I said, oh, this will be good for Stella and Simba because they don't feel well. And when cats don't feel well, it's good for them to eat some grass. So when I took it out and put it down, they both came right over to it. And I don't know if Stella's going to eat any. She was munching on it a little while ago while I was trying to find the camera, but as you could see, Simba's enjoying it. So if they eat it and it makes them vomit, that's fine because, you know, if they have something in their system, let them get it out and, like, let's move through this. Like, the last time Stella was dealing with the hairball, you know, nothing was working with her, and I had to give her that, like, that hairball. I think it was, like, Laxatone. And then when I gave it to her, she vomited and had diarrhea, and then she was fine after that. It was like things needed to move. So this morning, Stella took a poop. It had worms on it. And then this afternoon, she vomited like so much. So maybe the grass will help if there's anything still in her system that she needs to move out, move around. The same thing with Simba. So I'm going to let them have that for a little while. And then I'll give everyone their dinner after that. I kind of like to give them the cat grass as an appetizer, like humans eat salads. So we'll see how that goes with them. So right now it's 8, so maybe I'll feed them like around 8:30. I'm in the middle of doing laundry. I'm in the middle of cleaning the house. It's been a crazy week, a very busy week, and today has just been ridiculously hectic, just with everything that's going on, just lots of distractions. I'm completely off schedule for today, so yeah, I plan on being up kind of late tonight doing stuff. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.